Welcome to the SquidSoup World Headquarters here in the heart of the beautiful Cotswolds. So SquidSoup started about 20 years ago and has been through various iterations over the years. We started off working with advertising agencies and so on, looking at how to use the web and CD-ROMs in new and interesting ways. That worked for a while, and then we sort of got more interested in creating art installations, and so we started looking to people like the Arts Council for grants, and we moved through various things. But it wasn't until about 2002, so that's 15 years ago or so, 16 years ago, that we started seriously looking at using things other than the screen or projections to create our experiences, and started using light. And then this project came about through many years of research working with various people, and the first iteration of this project we did was in 2012, and it's now 2018, so we've been doing these for 6 years. We also explore this kind of approach with different technologies as well. We've got a project at the moment called Bloom, where we've got these slightly larger balls, but they have a speaker and a computer and accelerometer and GPS and stuff in them as well, so it's looking at a more sort of complicated relationship between the unit and the whole. So obviously this thing's got 5,000 units. With Bloom we've got sort of 500 or 1,000 units, so less, but it covers a bigger space, and it's got sound as well as visuals. So this piece of work is part of a whole series of projects that we've been doing over the last 10 years called Ocean of Light, and what we do with it is we try to use light in space to create the impression of movement and presence in the physical world using digital information. So this is like an exploded screen in some ways. We create these virtual spaces which are then placed in the physical world. What happens is that, so we can create a virtual form like a sphere or building, an arch, whatever, in the physical world, but it's digital information. So we've been through several iterations of this project. One of the early ones, we had a prototype made in China, and they created these strands, and they were, rather than covered in a sort of diffuser like that, they were just clear chips with LEDs on, and so we suspended it all up, and it all worked fine. But the whole idea of the thing was to be able to walk through it and have an immersive experience. And so, but as soon as you tried to do that, the sharp edges on the chips would get caught in your clothing, and also, even more fundamental than that, all the connections were just bare. So if two strands touched each other, they would just short out, and the whole thing would turn into sort of a 12-volt Christmas tree, which was less than ideal. And then eventually we found the company that actually we use now, which creates these lights. And they're a company in China. I didn't know anything about them. I was in touch with them by email, but you never know. So we got a grant from the Norwegian Arts Council to create this experience. This is the very first one of these that we've done, and so I had to put the whole grant, and it was quite a few £1,000s. Send all that money to China and hope we got something back. And fortunately we did, and I have to say that when we then spent ages setting it up, because we didn't know what we were doing in terms of creating these physical things. We built a whole false ceiling in this art gallery, we suspended all these things, and then we pressed go, and all these lights came on. They all just came on red, but nevertheless, as soon as they all came on and you walked into the space, it's quite a strange feeling, because the sort of light coming at you from every angle. So you're underlit and overlit and behind and in front. And as soon as I walked into that space, I thought, there's something in this.